Hey everyone, I'm Jay, and this is the 2016 Honda Fit. And in my opinion, it is one of the best subcompact cars you can buy today. And in today's unboxing review, I'm going to tell you exactly why. Some specific things I want to tell you about the Honda Fit are going to be its engine, its performance, fuel economy. I'm going to talk about its interior, inside and out, safety, pricing, and above all, one of my favorite features about it, believe it or not, the rear seat, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. So let's get started here. Now, this is the third generation Honda Fit. It was originally introduced in the US market back in 2006. It came out in Japan a few years before that. And this third generation was redesigned back in 2014, but for the 2016 model you're looking at, it remains unchanged. And I think that's a good thing because Honda has done an excellent job redesigning this car inside and out. So one of the questions people ask me, why should I buy a subcompact car over a crossover? Well, for starters, crossovers, they do cost more money because, well, there's a high demand for them and people like to sit a few inches higher. Now, the Honda Fit, it really offers everything a crossover, what a crossover has, with the exception of the higher ride height. And for me, I don't need to have to sit up really all that high in a car. I think the Honda Fit it's just spectacularly designed. Just looking at it from the side profile here, you have that nice character line going along the side there. You have these nice 16-inch alloy wheels. These are actually optional. It comes standard with 15-inch wheels, but this particular Honda Fit is the fully spec top-of-the-line version. I'll talk about specific trims in a few minutes as well. But overall, I really like this front end design. It's simple and it does the job really well, and that's what a Honda is. And what also you may not know is that every single Honda designer has to be an engineer first. It is something that Honda requires, and I think having that philosophy where its designers are engineers first, they're able to incorporate the little details, and that's where the Honda Fit really shines. It just nails everything that the subcompact needs to, and it puts the competitors on notice. So what's under the hood? Well, the Honda Fit comes with a standard 1.5 liter VTEC 4-cylinder engine with direct injection. It's paired to a continuously variable transmission, which you might know is a CVT. It's a type of an automatic transmission with paddle shifters in this case. And it has a total of 130 horsepower and 114 pound-feet of torque. Power is sent, obviously, to the front wheels. This is not a performance car. It's not rear-wheel drive, nor does it have all-wheel drive, but you really don't need it. Front-wheel drive is more than good enough. Now, for those out there who like to row their own gears, you can get a 6-speed manual transmission in the lower trim levels. In the version of the Fit that you see here, Honda just does not offer the 6-speed. It's CVT only. If you want to row your own gears, I think that's fine. Honda makes some of the best manual transmissions in the business. To each their own. So how about performance? Well, you're going to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8.8 seconds. That's not fast, but look at it's still faster than a Toyota Prius, so there you go. But going back to the transmission for a sec, if you opt for the CVT, you're going to get 32 miles per gallon in the city, 38 miles per gallon on the highway, and a combined 35 miles per gallon. The 6-speed manual, however, you're going to sacrifice some fuel economy. You're going to get 29 miles per gallon in the city, 37 miles per gallon highway, and a combined 32 miles per gallon. So, again, it's not a big deal, but I think most people are going to want to opt for the CVT. And looking inside here, yes, it's really true that it does have a sort of a tall roof, and it just creates a lot of interior space that you would normally find in a crossover. And that's just a really good thing. Even the seats here, they're leather seats, and that's impressive for the price point. And I'll get to that in a little while. It's just great how Honda was able to get premium features like leather seats in a car that costs, this amount. Very impressive. You got your standard power door locks and windows. That's pretty standard for every new car these days. Even the steering wheel is leather trimmed. Very impressive there. The seats are the front seats are even heated, and it's just a very nice, solid package. Now the rear seats here, believe it or not, you get more rear seat legroom. I'm serious about this. More legroom than the current Honda Accord. That's impressive. You can fit 3 passengers in the back. Might be a little snug, but 2 passengers can fit very, very comfortably. And again, I've watched Honda develop its cars over the years, and to see a subcompact with leather seats and a dash design as nice as this with these types of premium features, it's very impressive. And it just goes to show how far cars have come, and you can get a lot for your money now. Now, what features specifically in cars that used to be very premium features and the luxury cars, you're now getting them in cars such as the Honda Fit. Overall, a very comfortable driving position, but let's start up the engine for a second and see how that sounds. I'll be right back. It's a very basic engine, a 1.5 liter. It's gonna get you there. I think driving around the city in this car is fantastic. It was great. Trying to cruise up to highway speeds, I noticed the engine was kind of loud. I think that has to do with the CVT. Again, I was able to get up to speed 0 to 60 again, 8.8 seconds. So I was able to blend in with the highway traffic very quickly, but you're going to want to push it a little bit. But just look at this interior, some of the details here. It's hard for you to see, but I didn't find any cheap plastics everywhere. It was all soft touch materials. That's a trademark of Honda, as well as most other Japanese automakers today. Steering wheel is nice. You see the little paddle shifters there. Nothing is really obtrusive in any way. You have that nice 7-inch touch screen that you see right before you. It has, your audio controls, nav, it has voice recognition, a rear view camera, various smartphone applications. There's also Pandora internet radio, XM satellite radio, and HD radio. Now, I've played with a lot of touchscreen infotainment systems over the years, and this one, it looks good, but I actually found it a little difficult to figure out at first. For an example, the volume controls were in the touchscreen, and you don't always have that. Is it a bad touch or infotainment system? Not by any means. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. What I suggest is, before you buy this car, go to the dealership, play around with the touchscreen system, and see if it works well for you, or if you have a friend who has this car, give it a try as well. Is this touchscreen not being the best one out there a deal breaker? No, not by any means. I'm just saying there are better ones out there. What I do like is that the climate control system is still controlled by 3 knobs here. Just a nice blend of kind of more basic technology with the touch screen. I prefer this setup for just about any car, actually. But in the next few years, you're going to see more cars, such as with Tesla, where everything is just on one big touch screen pad. But generally speaking, like I said, no complaints with the interior quality. I like the little bits of, the gear lever is also wrapped in leather. So Honda's done its part to, bring in some higher quality features throughout. And again, this is the top of the line EXL with nav system. So you're going to get all the bells and whistles, but I think it's an excellent value. So let's talk safety here. Now, people who buy the Honda Fit They want value, fuel economy, and of course safety. Now, the Honda Fit, this current generation, has earned an overall 5-star U.S. government crash test rating, 5-star frontal crash driver and passenger, 5-star side crash front and rear seats, and a 4-star rollover rating. Some of the features you're going to get that are standard: driver and front passenger dual stage airbags, side airbags for front passenger and driver, side curtain airbags with a rollover sensor, 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, electronic brake distribution, traction control, stability control, vehicle stability assist, you name it. Now, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has done further testing and gave it a good rating in the moderate overlap frontal offset, side impact, and roof strength tests as well. Got a good rating. But in the small overlap frontal offset test, it earned an acceptable score, which is basically the second highest possible score you can get. So on the steering wheel, you have your basic controls: cruise control, volume control, nothing extraordinary, but it's functional, and that's exactly the point. You also notice the sunroof there. Now, that is optional on this particular car at the top of the line. It's just a basic sunroof. It's not the panoramic sunroof that you're starting to find on other models today, such as the Kia Soul, which is also a compact crossover that some people might actually cross-shop that with the Honda Fit. So would I like to see a panoramic sunroof in the Honda Fit? Absolutely. I don't know if it's possible, and speaking on an engineering level, but I don't know. A panoramic sunroof in a $27,000 Kia Soul is a really nice thing. So let's talk pricing here. Now, there's 5 trim levels for the Honda Fit, and the base price is $15,890. This car right here is fully loaded, top of the line EXL with Honda's satellite link navigation system with voice recognition. Has a combined total, including destination and handling, of $21,885. And that is actually an incredible value. Just think about it for a second here. The Honda Civic is basically grown in size and price over the years, and that starts at $18,640 and it goes over $26,000. Basically, the Honda Fit fits a segment that the Honda Civic used to dominate, and the Honda Civic grew in size because that's what the market demanded in accordance with the competition. But the Honda Fit is, what I would have imagined the Honda Civic of the future would look like back in the 1980s. You also see that Honda was smart. It didn't put such features like electronic seats. They're just manually adjustable because, in my opinion, electronic seats, the little motors eventually will break. And I'm not a big fan of that. I think the manual seats are just fine. Now, this is one of my favorite features. Seriously, the rear seat. Honda calls this the magic rear seat. It is basically a 60-40 split folding rear seat. But the feature here is that it's a flip-up seat bottom that creates a narrow floor-to-roof compartment for, taller items. When both back seats are folded flat, there's a total of 52.7 cubic feet of cargo room. And that's actually nearly as much as many small crossovers on the market today. And what's more, as you saw, the front passenger seat also folds flat, and it allows the Fit to accommodate items up to 8 feet long. Now, that's really, really impressive. It's just the flexibility of this car is just fabulous. So what's the competition? The first cars that come to mind is the Scion IA, and that's going to soon be discontinued, actually. There's also the Ford Fiesta, the Chevrolet Sonic, Hyundai Accent, Kia Rio, Toyota Yaris, as I previously mentioned, as well as the Nissan Versa Note. Those are all very good cars, but in my opinion, I think the Honda Fit is the segment leader for subcompacts today. You can see how it just folds flat really well, creates so much space. So who should buy the Honda Fit? Specifically, I think younger buyers who want a brand new car with a lot of features and a lot of value. It's very reliable and very fuel efficient, But in reality, this car appeals to just about anybody of any age. Say people want to downsize, they're tired of their crossover, they just don't need all the space. The Honda Fit is an excellent alternative. So basically, everybody, I'm out of time for today. If you have any more questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. As always, I will answer them as soon as I can. If you have any more suggestions for future cars that you'd like to see me unbox and review, please also leave those suggestions for me in the comments section below. There's also a full review of the 2016 Honda Fit up at carbuzz.com. Be sure to like my YouTube channel here as well, and tune in for the next unboxing video that you'll see soon. Until then, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.